All right. Um, Hi. Today I would like to talk about my experience at job. I have been recently laid off, and after a couple of years working by a company, this is my first time that I just actually got laid off. Just in some few days, and that's something that I did not expect. I kind of expect that because the companies was not really doing good, but because in Germany, if you have a kind of like a contract that is not limited, it's a permanent contract, then you you have more basically confidence that you won't lose your job. It's not probably like US or anywhere that the employee can just say that, okay, we don't need you anymore, and the next day you just get laid off and you need to look for other opportunities. So there is always, of course, a big portion of your income is basically going to the unemployment insurance, which is basically very good. It makes you think, uh, to make you a little bit relax, because if you for any way lose your job or if something happens, then social insurances covers your cost, and at least you can pay your rent, right? But the way that you get laid off is actually very important. Like, um, especially for my side, for myself, because I'm the kind of person who would like to do his job perfectly, or let's say at least optimal, and tries to provide as help as possible. And so something that happened was really for me kind of like unexpected, that I was among these like people that was laid off. So, but anyway, I don't want to really criticize the company or whatever, but I just want to talk about my feeling, how it feels to, uh, if you're a really dedicated person at your job and you want to do everything right. After working for some years in industry, unfortunately, I should say that it's a wrong decision. Like, it's a wrong method to work at your job. If you are taking everything seriously and you want it to be perfect, because sometimes it happens that the employee does not really appreciate what you are doing at all. Let's say in the last years, I didn't get any appreciation from what I have been doing, or at least I was trying to like optimize the process. Um, Nothing really. The bonus, everything that was promised already during was not really paid off at all. So when I'm just comparing, okay, in US, for example, if you get hired, you have a very high salary usually. I've never lived in US. I don't know the situation, but you say that, okay, I work here for 2 3 years and I get a good salary. Even if I get laid off, I have got enough money to look for next job. I don't want to complain about the salary. It was all right, but it was not the best. Like, in the level that you were working was not really satisfactory. And something that really upsets me, unfortunately, is that no appreciation from the employee, um, s- sorry, employer, and no appreciation from, unfortunately, colleagues. Of course, some of them were very nice people, but majority I could not make, let's say, a connection with them. And so I was always somehow feeling isolated by this company, inside the company, I mean. So if you have something as a called Niederlassung Erlaubnis, so if you have been working in Germany for, let's say, more than 4 or 5 years, and after that your blue card you can get after 3 months or 3 years, I guess, or 27 months at the minimum, you can apply for Niederlassung. Then you kind of get eligibility for applying for jobless salary. So, or if you are jobless, you can get some kind of social help from the government. So if you have that, then you feel a little bit secure. You say, okay, I've got my Niederlassung, and then I can work further, right? Or look further. So this is very satisfactory, I would say, if you look for further opportunities. But at the moment, I would say that the job market in Germany is generally not good, not good condition, not so much investment. A lot of companies, unfortunately, they have also laid off hundreds of their employees, and that's not a good sign at this moment to become jobless. To be honest. But yeah, some, like, you cannot really expect that everything works fine always, even if you have a permanent job contract. But I want to like talk about that. What happens next? As I said, if you have your Niederlassung or your permanent residency, then you are somehow safe that you can say for 12 months. 12 months, I will get paid by the government uh, around 60 to 67% of your salary, right? So this is good. This is a safe part. But what happens after that? If you enter, so there are two class of unemployed salary. The first class is class one, which is you get paid like 60% or 67% of your um, salary before taxation, and after that it gets even lower. If you cannot find a job after, like, let's say 12 months, then you get even lower salary. It's enough that you can get kind of like, you can pay for your rent if it's not a big house, let's say until 600 euro per month. And after that you kind of like go to the second class, and as I said, you get your like the rent for your building, like your apartment, and as well as if you're one only single person, you get something around 500 to 600 euro per month, so generally 1200 euro per month. So this is the second. But I'm pretty sure that if you're an active person and you look for opportunities, you will get at the end an opportunity, probably in somewhere else. um what I'm really active on LinkedIn. I would say that at the moment the most jobs are more into cities like München, the big ones, because there are a lot of companies around München or Munich, and also in Baden-Württemberg near to Stuttgart, maybe Frankfurt. So these are cities that you can expect more opportunity in industry. But in general, as I said, it's much tough. It's much tougher at the moment. What else? So this is the second thing, and I think, yeah. So I'm just sometimes thinking myself, maybe really it's a sign for me. Maybe it's time for me to decide to build something for myself. I don't know if I become a freelancer. So because I have worked basically in a lot of different fields. Really, if someone looks at my resume, um, somehow I'm also confused with my own resume because I've done a lot of things. I have studied mechanical engineering in my bachelor, And then I continued my master studies in automation and mechatronic, mainly focus on PLCs, robotics, programming, so this kind of things. And then I started to work on my own company when I was in back in Iran. So at that time, I was providing service in automation field. Like I was traveling to different cities, different companies to maintain, or I don't know, maybe to help them to rebrand their PLC with the new PLC ones, and just, yeah, kind of like a maintenance things, reprogram the machine, because it was basically was sold from bigger companies, and the smaller companies were buying in this second hands machinery to overhaul them, to do maintenance, and then to use them or sell them. So it's kind of like something in between. So what I was doing at that time was like getting new PLCs, programming their understanding exactly from the machine that what it's probably doing. So it was always guessing what this machine could be, and that then programmed the machine. So some years of my life went into this field, like programming old machinery or secondhand machinery and trying to sell them again. Of course, it was not my machinery. I was just an engineer helping the companies. And then after that, I started a fixed contract with exactly at this field, which one of the biggest biscuit producers in Iran, which at that time they were buying a lot of machinery from secondhand machinery from companies like Nestle or other big manufacturers, like they were doing overhauling in Iran and also helping them. So after that, it was like 2018 or something, and I decided, all right, maybe it's time again for me to um, like migrate to another country, start something new, because at that time the sanctions were putting on Iran and we were not really getting enough hardware or support or software from yeah, other companies outside of Iran. So that's a reason that I decided to, okay, so maybe, yeah, I can actually, yeah, maybe move to another country. And that time, because I was actually I was experiencing, because I did my master degree in Finland. So I was really not thinking to come back to Finland or anyway, because yeah, it's a nice country, but it was not really for me. I mean, I kind of like, yeah, I think to live in a little bit warmer place is more convenient for me. So I decided to come to Germany, because that time my sister was living there, so that was quite motivation for me to come to Germany. So the position that I found online, it was a position in research center in Karlsruhe, and Karlsruhe University, which is called so-called KIT, and that was the beginning of my career in Germany. But the that position was not a let's say permanent contract. It was renewed yearly, and I had to apply for visa every year. So basically, I stayed there for almost 3 years and nine. No, yeah, I think almost 4 years, and I had to apply for visa every 4 year every year. So I generally, I think, applied for 4 times for my visa, and it was not possible to convert my visa to a blue card. And it means that all these 4 years passed, and I did not have the chance to apply for my permanent residency or Niederlassung because I was always criticized because I have a short term contract. I cannot do anything. And still, with this short term contract, if you do not have a Niederlassung or permanent residency in Germany, you have a lot of problem. First of all, you cannot apply for credit from banks, any banks is really hesitant to give you credits if you want to buy something, for example, a car or something. They are really hesitant to give you. There are some banks that they do that, but they're very limited. And if you get one, they have a very high interest, so it's not really feasible, or not a good, basically, decision to do that. Anyway, after 4 years, actually talked with my employer, and I told her that, can you give me something better, like a little bit longer, long-term contract, let's say 5-year contract, and they rejected. They said that no, we cannot do that. And that's one of the most important things that I decided to apply for industry, because actually I was somehow satisfied with my job at KIT. But the problem was that it was, first of all, it was really in another field. So it was really machine designing. I was using Inventor to design the machinery. It was actually a very cool project. Ultrasound 3D tomography machine, which use ultrasound waves to visualize the tumors inside the breast. And that was really cool idea to avoid patients to go under X-ray or mammography, which is a very painful, basically, process. That's why I really enjoyed. I worked on this prototype from 0 to 100. I built with my hands a real functioning prototype using ultrasounds, transducers, and we got, actually, until 4 years that I was working there, we got images from the tumors inside the breast. So it was, from my career perspective, very success that I could actually build something from 0 to 100, and it was working. And we had a very good collaboration with Chinese. The Chinese had invested in this project. I don't know at the moment how is it or what happened, but it was really satisfactory to see something that you, as a prototype engineer, you design something and you build it with your own hands, and you see the result that is working. So it's really, really satisfactory. And I got actually very good points after, because there in Germany you can ask for Arbeitszeugnis, so kind of like a results base from what you have done. And I got a very, very satisfactory Arbeitszeugnis from my Arbeitgeber or employer in KIT, or Cultural Institute of Technology. But yeah, so the main reason I told you, I just wanted to get a work contract that is actually permanent. Then I applied for different jobs. And I had a tendency to move to actually industrial automation again, or maybe, let's say, yeah, automation, robotics also. But then this possibility for me happened in recycling industry, which I was a little bit skeptical at the beginning, but I got some kind of motivation from my boss that there is a possibility to pursue basically automation projects here. But anyway, when I entered, I really understood that this is also kind of like a prototype engineering, but more in the field test, or let's say test and validation. So I was somehow in between, like a bridge between the teams that designs and manufacturers, and I was just assembling, testing, getting data, and if something was not working, I was just referring to the R&D team designers to update them if the mechanical things or mechanical component are not working properly, if the electrical connections are not really working properly, or even the software. So even I was testing the modules, like optical modules, like spectroscopy, like lasers, cameras. If there is something wrong with them, then I kind of like help the mechanical designers to come to this idea that if the design is working or not. So I don't say that it was not interesting. It was interesting, but it was not really what I was expecting from my role in this company. It was not really well defined. And you know that when you are not really satisfied from your bottom of your heart, when you what you're doing, usually it won't last long. So that's why, of course, I really gave my best for this position, but at the end I got laid off. And yeah, um so the feeling is a mix. I wanted to come out of company, but I didn't want to get kicked out of this company. This is two different things. I wanted to come out of the company, do something, but I didn't want to really put my name on the list of people that maybe are not really good for them. Yeah, this is something. But I see that maybe really I need to start thinking. I have this February I entered my 40 years old. So if I want really to do something for myself, and let's say after 5 years I said that okay, that's my baby. I've made it, and I can now offer it to the market, benefit it, that other people as well can benefit from that, and also I can financially get benefit from that. So this is the point that I need to decide. Of course, there's a lot of challenges, because first of all, I cannot really I mean, I have to pay for my rent, right? So I need to somehow know that I'm able to stay on my feet, to be able to pursue these dreams that I have. Which in another episode I will talk about what is my dream, and which direction I would like to go, and yeah, I will keep you updated, guys. All right, yeah. Thanks for listening. It was just something that I wanted to share with you, and maybe you have also some similar experiences. I was not the only one. As I said, there are many people unfortunately got laid off. But yeah, if you have the similar experience, you have faced similar experience, just write in the comments. Like this video and let me know what you have faced so far in your career life. Alright, dann mach's gut. Tschüss.